Are you wondering what is the best age for your child to get braces? Look no further, because today we're interviewing Dr. George Nicholas, a renowned South Florida orthodontist. Make sure to stay to the end, because if you're an adult thinking about getting braces for yourself, he's going to talk a little bit about that as well. So let's go. Hey, it's Dr. Capra. I'm a board-certified pediatric dentist and mom, and I'm here today with Dr. George Nicholas to talk everything about braces. So let's get started.
Hi, Dr. Capra, how are you?
I am good, how are you?
What a surprise, it's nice to see you.
So I wanted to come today because in my practice, I get so many questions. You know, parents are always asking, what's the best age to get braces? Can they get Invisalign? I figured it's just better to come and ask you.
Sure.
You can inform them. First, let's start. Can you tell everybody, what is an orthodontist? What do you do?
Absolutely, yes. An orthodontist obviously is a dentist who becomes an orthodontist by going to school for another couple of years, 2 or 3 years, depending on the program. And what we do is we learn a lot about facial development, tooth development, and how to make the teeth obviously look beautiful and then to function better.
So now that everybody knows what an orthodontist does, what is the best age to see an orthodontist? I usually refer them at age 7, and when I do that, parents look at me like I'm from outer space. So back me up with this.
That's actually a perfect age because, you know, if you look into the American Institute of Orthodontic website, it does recommend that patients should be seen no later than the age of 7. The reason we would like to see them at an early age is because that's when their upper and lower anterior teeth are starting to develop.
Yes.
And we can get an idea on their growth development as well as tooth positioning. And we can either do something to help if we feel there's a problem, or we can monitor every 6 months and then guide the pediatric dentist, you know, in terms of what needs to be done to help give them the least amount of time in terms of braces as well as best treatment when they're a little bit older.
Next time your pediatric dentist sends your child at age 7 or anybody you know, this is why. One of the other questions is, don't we have to wait until the baby teeth fall out? Because my neighbor's child had braces 2 times. So what is your take on that?
Well, that's actually one of the biggest misconceptions in my opinion, because you absolutely do not have to wait for all baby teeth to be gone before you see an orthodontist or before you start treatment. So we did talk about, you know, age 7, and then of course, you know, a lot of patients don't start at that age because we don't need to. But the best really timing to start treatment is not really age specific, because some people, you know, some patients have their teeth come in early, some of them late. But it's nice to have at least some of the baby teeth remaining, specifically the second baby molars, because they're larger than the permanent teeth and we can use that space to our advantage.
And just to let you know, he treated my daughter, who is now turning 18 next week. He treated her with phase 1, she was 6 years old, okay? So it's never too early.
Yeah, and I'm still young, even though she's 18 now, but I did treat 3 of my 4 kids with first phase of treatment and second phase of treatment.
So because parents ask me why I'm sending children so early to see the orthodontist, I start explaining to them what phase 1 and phase 2 is. Can you elaborate a little bit more on these 2 phases of orthodontics?
Sure, yes. Phase 1 of treatment, if it's necessary, it really is to address skeletal problems, if they have any bone issues, underbites, open bites, where we can address them early on when the bone is still soft, and we can obviously get a great outcome and avoid extraction of teeth in the future. Yes. A lot of times we can also avoid surgical correction of their jaws. And also it makes the second phase of treatment, when needed, a lot easier and shorter time.
Now we're going to talk about the most sought after treatment, Invisalign. But before we go into that, if you have any additional concerns that we haven't talked about, please leave them below in the comments section and we will definitely be happy to address those for you. Let's talk about Invisalign.
It's actually an amazing treatment modality, and we've grown so much with Invisalign, over 30% in the last couple of years. It's becoming the treatment of choice in most cases. And the reason we like Invisalign over braces is because of hygiene consideration, staining on the teeth. Makes it a lot easier for the pediatric dentist, obviously, to monitor and continue to take care of their patients. Invisalign does move teeth a little bit faster due to the fact that the teeth are separated, so there's nothing touching at all, nothing working against the orthodontist. If the patient is cooperative, that is definitely the #1 choice for any orthodontist to treat their patients.
So they can't really be too young. Actually, I just saw a 7-year-old patient walk out who got Invisalign today for phase 1.
Yes, and that's called Invisalign First, and it's just definitely an additional treatment modality that we're doing right now to help with developing the arch and the teeth of the patient without any issues with hygiene and also diet restrictions.
Yes, yes. And we pediatric dentists like that because when we take x-rays to monitor to see if there's any cavities between the teeth, we don't have a wire in the way. Another common question is, are braces or Invisalign painful? Because I have a lot of patients that are scared to get braces or even Invisalign because they think it's going to hurt them.
Yeah, and then even though we get a lot of patients coming here super excited to get braces, they're still nervous and they're scared of the fact that they may be painful because their friends may tell them certain things and so forth. But braces are not painful. Invisalign is not painful either. The process of putting them on is very, very simple, very easy, just a little bit of pressure. There is a game out there called Speak Out where they use those retractors.
Yes.
And then that's what we use. And that's probably the most uncomfortable if there is any discomfort. Now, of course, with the braces or Invisalign, as you start moving teeth, the second day or third day, you may have a little bit of a discomfort, but nothing major, and it can be taken care of with some Tylenol or Advil. Invisalign is definitely more comfortable than braces due to the fact that there is no braces, there's no wires, there's no roughness whatsoever, and patients seem to accept it a lot better than actual braces. And also there's no emergencies whatsoever with Invisalign unless a patient loses an aligner, then we can order another one. With braces, there's broken brackets, they have to come to see us, you know, they have to get out of school, there's some wire pokes and multiple other things with the braces that do not exist with Invisalign.
And those things tend to happen on a Friday afternoon or on vacation. So another question is, why do people need braces?
We do look into different aspects of facial development. You know, as orthodontists, we do study the growth of the face, and there are certain problems that can occur, you know, based on habits that they have that we need to treat early on to be able to have the face develop properly. There are some breathing issues that can occur as well too, which the orthodontist can help in eliminating the problem and then allow the patient to develop properly, and the facial development is very important, obviously. And there are some genetic problems that, you know, of course they inherit from, you know, their parents or grandparents and siblings, and that is something that we need to address as well to give them the best environment possible for their facial and tooth development.
And our last question, which I promised everybody that you would talk about, is braces for adults, because I'm sure there's a mom, dad out there wondering, am I too old to get braces? Can I get braces? You know, what do you say to those parents?
That's actually a very good question, and this is something that I wanted to also mention, and you beat me to it, which is great. So there is no age for braces. We have patients that are 6 years of age, and we have patients who are in their 90s. They are getting orthodontic treatment, whether it's Invisalign or braces, depending on what they prefer. That's actually very helpful to do in adulthood to be able to maintain their teeth a lot longer because of periodontal issues and missing teeth and multiple other factors. Retention is another thing I wanted to talk about too, because you know, a lot of patients say, I had braces, my teeth moved, now I need them again. Well, nothing in our body stays the same. Everything is going to change. The bone is going to change as we get older, and teeth are going to move as we get, you know,
we age.
The age, absolutely, yes. So retention is a very important part of the treatment, the orthodontic treatment, to maintain the teeth for as long as you want them straight.
Thank you so much for answering all these questions. I hope we got all of them, but remember, if there are any other questions that you have, you can go ahead and ask them below. And if you're in the South Florida area and you haven't seen an orthodontist or a pediatric dentist, come see us.
Thank you.